Okay, so it's been about a year since my first and only entry into video blogging, but I thought I would give you guys an update as what's happened since last August. Um, when I left you, I had a rash due to the Seroquel extended release, and they had taken me off of that. After that, I went on to Latuda. Medicine lady put me on Latuda, and she started off at 40 milligrams. So for once, she started off slow, but it had really, really bad side effects as well. Like, I couldn't, my legs, my arms, every joint, every muscle in my body hurt, and I could not stand up. Essentially, it hurt so bad I couldn't do anything, and I was able to do less than the 82-year-old man at the museum that I help curate at. And on top of that, on top of all the pain, it also caused panic attacks. So every time I took a Latuda, 30 minutes later I was taking about 400 milligrams of ibuprofen and a milligram of Xanax just to deal with the side effects. So I decided that medicine lady didn't know what she was doing, and that thought was actually echoed by one of the policemen who were called to my house twice in one night. As soon as he figured out who medicine lady was, he told me that he wouldn't trust his dog to be treated by her. So that kind of put me off on going back to medicine lady at all, and I didn't for an entire year. I ended up self-medicating because I figured I could do it better myself. So I went through my doctor at the clinic who has different medications on file, Neurontin and trazodone and regular Seroquel on top of the Xanax that I take. So I got my medicine through him and just completely bypassed medicine lady. Well, self-medicating didn't actually work, and I had started to overdose. I would take a bottle of Neurontin, which is 100 pills, each pill 100 milligrams, and I would down it. So I would take 100,000 milligrams of Xanax at a time. Now, I'm not saying that you should go out and overdose on any pill or whatsoever, even overdose on Neurontin. But those of you who have Neurontin know that it is very, very, very difficult to overdose on Neurontin at all. The most you get is you act like you're drunk. So I was doing that a couple nights a week because I had procured a 3-month supply. So I was taking bottles and bottles of Neurontin, sometimes drinking them down with liquor. And then in May, I was invited to work at Fort Robinson State Park, which is in the northwestern part of Nebraska, and I'm down here at the southeastern, so it's clear across the state. And I got there, and I knew it was going to be isolated, just one for the location, and two for the fact that I was going to stay in one of the guardhouses on the site. But we get up there, and I get to the guardhouse, and I try to search for a Wi-Fi signal, and there wasn't any. Now, don't take this the wrong way. I'm not shallow. I'm not greedy. I'm not self-important. I don't think that I need to have everything or anything, but it's what the Wi-Fi represents. The Wi-Fi represents my support system. It represented all my friends and all of my family because I didn't have a phone. I have a minute phone, and I didn't have any money to put minutes on the minute phone, so I couldn't call my mother when I had a panic attack. I couldn't call my grandmother when I had a panic attack. I couldn't email my sister when I had a panic attack. I couldn't do anything. I was going to be stuck all by myself in this guardhouse on the clear other side of the state, and I couldn't do it. I panicked. I had a huge panic attack, and that ended my 13th job in the last 10 years. So we ended up driving me back to York, and I was so ashamed. I was so depressed and so ashamed that it caused me to do some self-injurious behavior. I took a box of matches and I burnt myself. The whole box, just burnt myself because I needed to feel something other than the depression. And pain is easy. Pain isn't complicated. It just is. You feel pain. It made me feel alive. It made me feel something other than depressed. But the self-medication got out of control, and the last night I did it was the night that I ended up in the hospital. I had taken my last 100 milligram, 100 pill box of Neurontin, and on top of that, I added some Zoloft. Now, my Zoloft came in 50 milligram pills, and I took roughly around 12, I think it was. I didn't really count. I think I took 3 and then 3 and then 3 and then 2. So around 12 or 16 50 milligram pills of Zoloft on top of the 100,000 milligrams I had of the Neurontin. And I did that at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I didn't feel good, but nothing was too serious. It didn't actually become serious until after we got out of the movies. My mom and I went to go see Maleficent in 3D. And as soon as I took off the 3D glasses, my whole world went wrong. It was like 3D on top of 3D inside the Matrix. So things looked the definition of things was too sharp and too deep. And then I could tell that there was a lie on top of that because I was all going Neo in the Matrix. I could feel the lie. So we get into the car, and I start shouting, it's not real, nothing's real, because nothing was real to me at that point in time. And instead of taking me home to sleep it off, my mother took me to the emergency room. So I spent a night and a day here in York, and then I was volunteered to go to Mary Lanning Hospital, where the psychiatric ward is. And I say volunteering because I had one of two options. Either I could drive myself, I could have my mother drive me to Mary Lanning and go voluntarily, or they would call the police and they would take me to Mary Lanning. But either way, I was going to Mary Lanning, and I was scared witless. But it needed to happen. After 12 years, I needed a reboot, and that's what I got at Mary Lanning. And they were really nice. I know it's their job, but they were really nice and really patient and really genuinely cared about everybody who was in there. They also took me off of all of my medications. I think I still have the Xanax. I know I have a bottle of Xanax, but I think I still have the prescription for Xanax for the panic attacks I have. But they now put me on Effexor, which I take in the morning, and that's 150 milligrams of medicine that causes, let me guess, weight gain. And then at night I take 15 milligrams of Amiet, which of course causes, wait for it, weight gain. So I have to definitely watch what I eat and make myself physically healthy, because that's completely interconnected with my mental health. So that's a wrap up of an entire year in about 8 minutes and 46 seconds. I don't know if you guys want any more of these videos. I know I've got a lot of hits on my blog, which is called The Wandering of the Bipolar Mind. And if you're interested, it's Araya, ARAYA004.blogspot.com. I'll leave a link in the description. At least I hope I can do that. I'm pretty new to video blogging. But if you guys want any more questions, or feel that I left something out that you would like to know about, I could give you any answers that I can. Like I said, everything is coming from my own experience, so if I haven't experienced what you're asking about, I can give my best educated guess, with a warning that it's my best educated guess. But if it's something that I have experienced as well, then I can give you an outsider's look at what's going on. But it's all up to you guys, so let me know. And once again, thanks for listening.